Welcome to Crossroad Connection. My name is David Schuringa, and we're happy to have you here on the program. This is a new format now that we're using on television, web TV, after being on the radio only and also on the web for the last 5 years. We have a very special guest today. Her name is Cynthia Williams. Cynthia is the Deputy Director of International Development with Crossroad Bible Institute. And how long have you been with us now, Cynthia?
About 4.5 years.
4.5 years, so
Yes.
going on 5 years. And almost that entire time we were on radio,
That's
you actually
right.
were an announcer and did ads and all that, so your voice should not be too
Completely
unfamiliar to
unfamiliar.
folks.
Yes,
That's right.
That's right.
And so you're Deputy Director for these international developments, and so why don't you just give the folks an idea of what you do?
Well, it really encompasses quite a wide range of things that we're doing with CBI's international and Spanish program. So my role really extends from the Spanish all the way globally to all that's happening around the world.
And what's happening around the world in a
lot.
nutshell?
In a nutshell.
Because I want to talk about your upcoming trip, but
That's right.
we have satellite campuses all over the world, right? On all 6 livable continents.
That's
they
right.
They are there. About
That's right.
are going on like 20 of them now or something.
Yes, with several in development, so we like to wait to count those until they're fully
Yeah, so
developed.
15 really
but
going well,
yeah.
16, but there's a lot more that are
4
coming.
more, yeah.
Would you explain to the folks what is a satellite campus?
A satellite campus is really CBI in that country. So we take our program, we develop it in that country in partnership with a person who is carrying out already really vital prison ministry. They then take our program, they implement it with the prisoners that they're working with in the prisons that they're working in. And so they go through the same process of the students enrolling, taking lessons, studying the Bible with us, and then having volunteer instructors correct the lessons and write those letters of encouragement.
Well, it's such an exciting development. It's been a vision of mine for, well, about 14 years ago when I came to Crossroad Bible Institute. We were starting to get some international students trickling in, and I thought, these students need to have the church in their own countries discipling them. And now that dream is coming true. It started off with Canada, it started off with Australia, but it's going for 10 years now. New Zealand about 7 years. But we're going to have you on the program often because what's happening international is so exciting. But what I wanted the folks to know about is that in a few days you're going to be taking off for the country of Sierra Leone. And this is to launch CBI Sierra Leone.
Yes.
This sound, I think I hear about war and troubles there. Tell us about the trip that's coming up.
Well, it's very exciting because we do have a new satellite campus initiating there, but it is a country that, you're right, has been really ravaged by their civil war between 91 and 2001. They went through a very difficult time that really destroyed a lot of their country, the infrastructure, and it's a country really trying to crawl out of that kind of poverty.
I mean, it continues to be unstable, right? I mean, wasn't your trip postponed about a month because of potential instability?
There was a bit surrounding their elections. Everything went well. But there is always that question about how stable it is. But in terms of what we're doing, it seems to be a stable enough environment in which we can, establish the satellite campus. So
Who's our director there?
we have a young director named Lahai Kargbo.
And this is an indigenous
Yes,
Sierra Leone.
yes, that's right. Yes, all of our satellite campus directors, barring one or two,
right.
are indigenous. So that's a very exciting aspect.
And he
of
has
this.
trained instructors there,
He has. In fact, he has
church members who are just like here, but they'll be correcting the lessons.
That's right. He has a really wonderful team of instructors that actually came out of his ministry called Prison Watchman Ministry. They're the partnering ministry that we're working with there.
So he already had access to the prisons, which makes a big difference.
Very big difference, yeah.
Because the
it's
government,
really
we have to get
important.
permission to go in there. It's easier for us to get permission if
That's right.
if we have a partnership there.
That's right.
Now, but a lot of folks don't realize perhaps that if they are instructors know about our programs in the West, you can bring all the lessons through the mail and so forth. In Sierra Leone, what are they going to have to do there?
They actually will hand deliver the lessons.
They have to
go.
bring the lessons to the prisoners.
That's right.
Because
yes.
the mail system is unreliable,
Oh,
expensive,
yes.
and nightmarish.
Absolutely not possible to use that. So it's a hand delivery system. They collect the lessons. There's a lot of personal contact. They work directly with them when they go in for weekly visits.
And they also then need sometimes more than the Bible study lessons, right?
That's right. They share the gospel with them. They spend time with them. They get to know the students personally. They can work with them, counsel them, and so forth. So there is a tremendous amount of personal contact within the context of the program and the security of the program.
What would you say is the state of the criminal justice system in Sierra Leone? Because we know from we have places like we have CBIs in Zambia and Kenya and all these other places, and in many places in Africa, it's pretty difficult. Do they have the situation there, for example, that people are in prison for a long period of time before charges are even brought against them?
Yes.
Does that happen there too?
Absolutely. It's the same, there are the same issues that they deal with in Sierra Leone as they do in all of the, really in many developing countries, but especially in Africa, where the judicial system is very, very poor. And they have lengthy incarcerations before receiving even a trial date. It's severely overcrowded with prisoners in comparison to the facilities and the capacity of the facilities that they have. Very poor medical systems or non-existent medical systems within the prisons. So there's a lot
all
of
the same
disease,
stuff.
the same things that we hear in all of them.
You're
So
hopping on a plane. You're flying to Sierra Leone. That's a long trip. What are you going to do there?
when we first get there, we'll meet with our staff, with Lahai and the rest of the staff. We'll do training with them. Then we'll move into a time where we will spend a considerable amount of time with the instructors. And we will hold a special launch of our program there where we gather everyone together.
A formal launch. They like pomp and
right.
circumstance in that culture, right?
A celebration.
Something
yeah.
that's important. They want it
much.
to have a ceremony. You'll probably present them with a plaque.
That's right.
And
yeah.
And you have to be there. Will you go into any
Yeah.
prisons?
Yes, and then we will go in on Sunday. We are scheduled to go into the King Tom Juvenile Facility, and
Really?
that is one of the prisons that we're working in that houses juvenile offenders. And I'm really looking forward to that. These are young kids, really, who really need Christ, live in a desperate sort of environment. In fact, cholera went through Sierra Leone not long ago, and it was particularly bad in this facility. So there was a great concern about the health of these young people. So I'm looking forward to spending time with them. We are hoping Monday to be able to go into the women's prison. The men's prison is under lockdown, maximum security. I believe related perhaps to the unrest in the last month or so. So we will not be able to go in there, but we still will be able to spend time with our students and really get to know them.
Well, it sounds like an exciting trip. I just want you to know we're going to be praying for you here back in the States.
Thank you.
Take lots of pictures, will you?
I will.
I want to see some pictures of those students holding a CBI lesson and a Bible that we're going to be giving them, so that our audience can also feel like they've been there. So I hope you take lots of photos.
I hope they'll allow me to. Sometimes in the prisons they don't let us take cameras in,
I
but
understand.
we will certainly do our
other
best.
aspects of the trip too.
Sure.
And if I'm correct, you're going to be stopping by overnight in Great Britain.
That's
and
right.
we have a CBI there. Matthew
right.
Savage is our director. Are you
Yes.
going to have some time to spend with Matthew?
I am, and I'm very excited about that. We've seen a lot of growth. It's a slow process in the UK, but we are now in almost 40 prisons in the UK, which is just remarkable.
I had no idea it's been growing that fast.
Yeah.
And also, I know in Ireland, right?
Yes, we started out there, and then
Yeah.
it grew from there.
And 40 prisons in.
Yes, yeah, almost.
Oh, UK
40.
includes Ireland.
Yes,
you're saying
that's
so.
right.
It's in all of that area.
Yeah.
Well, this has been exciting. We're sending you off then officially right here, and we are looking forward to your return. And we hope that in a couple of weeks we'll have lots of pictures and we'll interview you again, so that everybody can see how that trip to Sierra Leone went. Okay.
I'll look forward to updating you then.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for being on the program,
Thank
Cynthia.
you for having me. Thank you.
My name is David Schuringa. Thanks for coming to Crossroad Connection today for this exciting program, and we hope to see you again right here next week.